Do you always feel like your throat is heavy? That uncomfortable feeling of mucus or phlegm stuck in your throat that doesn't improve with anything? You've tried everything, lozenges, syrups, sprays, and you still deal with that constant throat clearing, coughing, or even shortness of breath? What if I told you there's a simple, natural, and extremely powerful plant that can eliminate the phlegm from your throat in just a few minutes? Yes, that's right. A plant that clears your airways quickly, with no side effects, and that you probably never heard of. This is one of those pieces of information that almost no one knows. Even many doctors don't know, and the ones who do, usually naturopaths or integrative medicine specialists, charge a small fortune to reveal this natural secret during consultations. But today, you won't need to spend a penny. Because here, right now, you will discover what this plant is and how to use it the right way to feel the effects in no time. So stick with me until the end of this lesson, because in addition to revealing this natural secret, I will also show you mistakes that sabotage your respiratory health and teach you a powerful homemade syrup recipe that will transform your breathing. Why has this plant been forgotten? Did you know that this plant has been used for centuries by ancient civilizations? Yes. Traditional peoples used this herb to cleanse the lungs, treat persistent coughs, and expel secretions that interfered with breathing. It was knowledge passed down from generation to generation, reliable, natural, and accessible. But here comes the question. If it works so well, why is no one talking about it today? The answer is simple and sad. It doesn't generate profit for the pharmaceutical industry. Natural products, which you find in nature or at a local market, aren't of interest to a system that profits from your illness, not your cure. Over the years, this plant has been sidelined, replaced by industrialized syrups, sprays, and lozenges that mask the symptoms but don't address the cause. Have you noticed how many of these remedies only bring relief for a short time? But the next day, the throat clearing, the cough, and the discomfort are all back again. This happens because they just suppress the body's signals without truly cleaning what's behind the issue. And the result is that many people live dependent on these products, spending money and dealing with the problem for years, without knowing that the solution has been in nature all along. But now that you know this, you're about to recover that knowledge. And the next step is understanding how inflammatory foods directly interfere with the accumulation of mucus, the relationship between food and mucus. Before we talk about the plant that clears your throat in minutes, you need to understand something fundamental. What you eat may be sabotaging your respiratory health. Let's start with one of the biggest culprits: milk and its derivatives. Few people know this, but milk, the same one you have with your breakfast coffee or the cheese you eat before bed, strongly stimulates mucus production in the body. It makes secretions thicker, stickier, and harder to eliminate. If you have constant throat clearing, coughing, or that dirty throat feeling, the culprit may be in your diet, and not the weather or your age. But it doesn't stop there. Other inflammatory foods, like processed meats, white flour, refined sugar, and ultra-processed foods, have the same effect. They irritate the respiratory system, inflame the airways, and increase mucus production as the body's defense mechanism. In other words, what you eat could be clogging your internal water tank, and the cleaning needs to start there. The good news? Simple adjustments in your diet can make a huge difference. Reducing these inflammatory foods is like opening a path for your body to clean itself from the inside. And when this is done alongside using the right plant, the results are impressive. To better understand what's happening inside your body when you feel that heavy throat, imagine an old water tank, one of those that sit on top of houses. When the tank is well maintained, the water that comes out is clean, with no smell or bad taste. But when it's left neglected, it starts to accumulate dirt, slime, dead leaves, grime, and even insects. The water that comes out then becomes murky, heavy, and tastes bad. And no one wants to drink that water, right? That's exactly how your body works when there is an accumulation of toxins and mucus in the airways. The mucus you feel in your throat, that phlegm that won't go away, is like that dirty water. It signals that something is wrong inside, that your body is intoxicated and needs to clean itself. This mucus is a natural defense response, trying to capture and eliminate impurities. But when it accumulates too much, it becomes a silent poison for your breathing, your voice, your energy, and even your sleep. And most importantly, this doesn't just come from colds or the flu. Many times, it is related to what you eat, your lifestyle, and even metabolic issues that increase inflammation in the body. That's why, before trying any medication, you need to understand that the problem is internal, And the solution starts by cleaning this water tank from the inside out. The real villains of mucus production. Before starting any treatment to eliminate mucus and phlegm from the throat, it is essential to understand that there are true saboteurs of your respiratory health. Foods that inflame your body and increase mucus production. The main villains are milk and dairy products. These are major stimulants of mucus production, making secretions thicker and harder to eliminate. If you feel your throat is heavy, milk may be one of the main culprits. Processed meats, ham, sausages, mortadella, and similar products contain preservatives and ingredients that inflame the body, worsening congestion in the airways. White flour, common in bread, cakes, and industrialized pasta, it contributes to inflammation that increases mucus production. Refined sugar, it stimulates inflammatory processes and harms the immune system, making your body more vulnerable and congested. That's why before taking any medicine, natural or industrialized, you need to clean the water tank from the inside. That is, reduce or eliminate these inflammatory foods from your daily life. This way, you prepare your body for treatments, like the guaco tea or the natural syrup I'll teach you, to be much more effective, and the improvement will be fast and long-lasting. Remember, it's no use just sweeping the mucus with medicines if the cause continues to sit there, accumulating dirt. The true transformation begins with changing eating habits. Introduction of the plant, guaco. Now that you know about the villains of mucus production, it's time to meet the #1 plant for eliminating phlegm and mucus from the throat in minutes, guaco. Guaco, also known by popular names such as sipo caatinga or erva de cobra, is a medicinal plant native to South America, widely used for centuries by the traditional communities of the region. It has a rich history and popular use for treating respiratory problems, such as cough, bronchitis, phlegm, and throat inflammation. What makes guaco so special are its natural medicinal properties. It acts as a natural expectorant, helping to thin and loosen that thick and sticky mucus that is so bothersome. In addition, guaco has a bronchodilator effect, meaning it helps relax the bronchi, making breathing easier. It also has an anti-inflammatory action, combating irritation in the throat and that heavy chest feeling that disrupts your daily life. And the best part? Guaco is a plant that is easy to find and simple to prepare, making it accessible for everyone who wants to improve their respiratory health in a natural and effective way. Benefits of guaco for the respiratory system. Guaco is much more than a common plant. It is a true ally for the health of your respiratory system. Firstly, guaco acts as a natural expectorant. This means it helps thin that thick, sticky phlegm in the throat and lungs, facilitating its expulsion through coughing. As a result, the feeling of heaviness and discomfort decreases rapidly. In addition, guaco has a powerful anti-inflammatory action, reducing irritation and swelling in the airways. This relieves that uncomfortable feeling of a sore throat and helps improve your voice and breathing. Another important benefit is its bronchodilator effect. This means that guaco relaxes the bronchial muscles, opening the airways and facilitating the entry and exit of air. This is essential for those who suffer from difficulty breathing or persistent cough. With regular use, guaco helps restore respiratory health, providing quick and lasting relief without the side effects common to industrialized medications. How to prepare guaco tea correctly. Now, I'll teach you how to prepare guaco tea the right way to ensure you get all these benefits. You will need 1 tablespoon of fresh guaco leaves or 1 teaspoon of dried leaves, 1 cup of boiling water. Place the leaves in the hot water, cover the container, and let it infuse for about 10 minutes to extract the active principles. Then, strain and drink the tea while it's still warm to get the most out of its effects. The recommendation is to drink up to 3 cups a day. In the morning when you wake up, before lunch, and early in the evening. These are the best times of the day because your body is more receptive and the effect will be more efficient. The tea can be used for up to 30 consecutive days. But after this cycle, it's important to take a break to avoid any unwanted effects. Care and contraindications. Although it is natural and safe for most people, it's important to take some precautions. Guaco should not be used by pregnant women, breastfeeding women, children under 2 years old, or people with liver problems. In these cases, it's best to consult a healthcare professional before starting use. Another important point is to ensure the plant's origin. Look for guaco in farmers markets, natural product stores, or reliable compounding pharmacies. Avoid products without clear identification of the plant and the correct species on the label. mistakes that nullify the effects of guaco. For guaco to work properly, you need to avoid some common mistakes that end up clogging your body and nullifying the benefits of the treatment. Mistake 1. Daily consumption of milk and dairy products. Few people know, but milk increases mucus production and makes secretions thicker and harder to eliminate. If you always feel like your throat is dirty, milk could be the main culprit. Mistake 2. Excessive consumption of processed foods. Processed meats, cookies, sodas, and industrialized seasonings inflame the body and stimulate the excessive production of mucus. These foods sabotage your immune system, leaving you congested and struggling to breathe. Mistake 3. Lack of hydration. Drinking little water makes mucus thicker and stickier. That's why it's essential to drink at least 8 glasses of water per day to help the body naturally eliminate these secretions. Mistake 4. Disbelief in natural medicine. Many people prefer industrialized medicines, despite the risks of side effects and dependency, and ignore the power of natural plants that have been tested for generations. If you avoid these mistakes, guaco will have a much better chance of working and delivering the results you desire. Recipe for the mucus clearing syrup. Now that you know about guaco and how it can help, I'll teach you a powerful natural recipe to further enhance the cleaning of your airways. The mucus clearing syrup. The ingredients are all natural and easy to find. 2 tablespoons of pure honey, 1 tablespoon of fresh lemon juice, half a teaspoon of ground ginger or freshly grated ginger, half a teaspoon of turmeric, ground turmeric, a pinch of freshly ground black pepper, optional to enhance the effect. To prepare, mix all the ingredients well in a glass container until it forms a homogeneous syrup. Store this syrup in a glass jar with a lid, preferably dark-colored, to preserve it better. How to use it. Take 1 teaspoon of the syrup 3 times a day. In the morning on an empty stomach, in the afternoon, and before bed. Use it for 7 to 10 consecutive days, or until you notice that your throat and lungs are free of phlegm. Why does this recipe work? Each ingredient in this recipe was chosen for its specific action, and together they form a powerful combination. Honey has antibacterial properties and also helps soothe irritated mucous membranes, protecting your throat. Lemon has the power to break down mucus, in addition to boosting the body's immunity by strengthening its natural defenses. Ginger warms the body, stimulates circulation, and helps dissolve accumulated secretions. Turmeric is known for its strong anti-inflammatory action, fighting inflammation in the airways. And black pepper enhances the absorption of turmeric, making its benefits even greater. Together, these ingredients promote a real internal cleansing, clearing mucus and improving your breathing in a natural and efficient way. Contraindications. Although it is natural, this recipe should be used with caution by some individuals. If you are diabetic, honey should be consumed in moderation, or it can be replaced with alcohol-free propolis, which also has medicinal properties. People who are allergic to any of the ingredients, especially ginger or pepper, should avoid use or adapt the recipe with the guidance of a naturalist professional. Whenever possible, consult a specialist to ensure this recipe is safe for you. To enhance the effects and ensure a complete airway cleansing, the best strategy is to combine guaco tea with the mucus clearing syrup. This duo works synergistically. While guaco acts directly on thinning and eliminating mucus, the syrup strengthens the immune system, reduces inflammation, and protects the throat. By using both regularly, you can experience significant improvement in your respiratory health, breathing more easily, and getting rid of the discomfort of phlegm and mucus that insist on staying. Conclusion. Before finishing, I want to invite you to reflect on something very important: the value of ancestral knowledge and the natural solutions that nature offers us. For centuries, our ancestors took care of their health with plants, foods, and simple yet effective remedies. This knowledge has been passed down from generation to generation, and today, we can reclaim this legacy to live with more quality and autonomy. Taking care of your health naturally is not just about choosing a healthier path. It's a commitment to yourself, to your body, and to the planet. If you've made it this far and enjoyed what you've learned, I ask you to leave the phrase, "Health is worth more than money," in the comments below. Words have power, and when you write this, you are committing to your health and your transformation. Therefore, share this video with at least 3 people you love. It can be someone in your family, a neighbor, or a friend who suffers from coughing, phlegm, or who constantly takes throat medication. This information could be exactly what they need to transform their health. Remember, those who share health, share life. I also really want to hear your opinion. Leave a comment here telling me what you thought, which tip was most useful, and even where you are watching from. This helps me continue bringing content that truly makes a difference. Now, on the final screen, I'll leave 2 valuable videos that will further deepen this natural healing journey. If you want to continue learning and taking care of your body in a simple and genuine way, don't miss watching them. Subscribe to the channel right now and activate the notification bell. This way, you will be notified whenever a new lesson is posted. Thank you so much for being here, for trusting in the power of nature, for believing in healing, and for investing in your health. A big hug, good health, and may God bless you.